My name is Just John. I'm a poet from Miramar, Florida. I love to talk about love, relationships, anything pertaining to just what I'm inspired by. And so I seen this installation was definitely inspired. Shout out to OB. What you put in is what you get out. So I think love starts with yourself. And then I always had this big fairy tale fantasy that love started with, I guess, a couple or your parents or a relationship. And I guess the more I grew up, the more I'm starting to realize that it starts inward and then travels outward. Just as much as you should understand some of the love languages, I think the person should understand the intentionality behind what it is that you're offering. You know, because sometimes those intentions may not align. You know, your love language may be physical touch, but my moment and my intentions in this moment may be to show love in a different way. So how do we now communicate that love together is the real test. Poetry for me started with a love note. Honestly, I didn't really know how to express myself too well. Growing up in a household, I'm the youngest boy, 4 boys, Caribbean household, so it was very tough on showing affection, showing love. So for me, it was very hard to translate that, to express myself. I was very quiet, I was an observer. So one day I had a crush on this girl, walking home from 3rd period or walking to the next class from 3rd period, and I wrote down all my feelings on how I felt about her on a little paper, and I gave it to her because I didn't know how to express it. And at the bottom of the paper, I told her, "Would you date me, yes or yes?" And she circled yes. So that was my first time I felt empowered by being able to express myself through my words. It just trickled down ever since. I think it starts with pouring in to myself, really sharing my story, sharing my lens of who I am as an artist, as a person, as a human, and how my experiences in this world. And I think if that touches the heart and the eyes, the ears of just one person, I feel like you've done your job as a poet, because it's about that relatability, that connection. But I think how I pour into others is just by my sense of understanding where I come from and what I can contribute, and to speak on light and positivity on how I can help make the world a better place. 3 attributes to self-love. That's a good one. Man, I would say peace of mind. That could look, I guess, like that. It could look multiple different ways, whether that's going to the beach and clearing your head, or meditating, doing yoga, things of that nature. Working out could be on sport. Just having a peace of mind, which is being comfortable with being alone, you know, as an individual. I think that's important because you start to strengthen how you function, how you think, how you act. So I think that that's important as self-love. I think what you eat, what you consume, not only, you know, I'm a poet, so like I said, double entendre. So not only what you physically consume, but also what you put into your mind, you know, social media, what you take in the news, the internet, all of those things that you consume is important for your self-love, because, you know, like I said, what you put in is what you get out. So I think if you're consuming a lot of negativity, then your world is going to be casting around a lot of negativity. So that's important to consider in self-love. My last one, I would say, for me specifically, I'm big on giving back. So I think that for me makes me feel good. I feel accomplished. I feel like I'm doing something good. I feel like I walk with a sense of purpose when I'm giving back to my community or my family or anybody that may be in need. I'm always big on trying to make sure that I can up myself so I can help someone else. So I would say that's my big 3.
There you go. That all makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I always say that reflection is the scariest view. What do you see when you look in the mirror?
I see a star, really. I'm my biggest fan just as much as I'm my biggest critic. And I feel like you gotta be, because you gotta be able to pour into yourself when no one else is able to pour into your cup. So when I look in the mirror, I definitely always try to like uplift myself, try to let myself know I look good, or if I'm doing great, or whatever it is, my affirmations, I make sure I include them in my daily talks with myself in the mirror.